on before the big day. Stories run wild in the craziest way. From Vegas nights to beach town vibes, we're mapping your party, you're in for a ride. Bachelor mayhem, city lights glow. Wild adventures, let the good times roll. Planning tips, crazy trips, we've got the guide for the ultimate party. No thrill denied. Raise your glass, set the tone. This is the party before you.
And we are back. Drunken Suits coming at you again. I am your host, Bobby Carlson, with
Will Kroboth?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And today we are talking about our hometown, Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton area, ABE. What's up, baby? Back home. Let's hear it.
Yeah. Throwing it back to the Lehigh Valley. Love it.
In my mind, everybody back home was just cheering. So that's why I gave that pause.
Absolutely. Everyone watching will for sure.
I mean, it was probably the entire Parkland School District. It was probably, they're all listening right now and cheering. So I love it. I am excited, though. This is going to be a good episode. ABE, it is our hometown, but definitely could hold a bachelor party.
Yeah. So, it's not would not by any means be like go to big picture, not big picture, but high profile one. But I think it absolutely has all the pieces you need.
I'm definitely thinking this should probably be people around the area, maybe, spending a weekend here or maybe like one day at ABE and then, maybe going to New York or Philly or the Jersey Shore, but they wanted that ABE experience too. That's how I kind of see what the people might be doing this for a bachelor party, but nonetheless, you can have a stellar time.
Yeah, that's a really good point, right? The proximity to these other locations. I'm sure we'll get into that a little bit, but you got a lot of other things close
Yeah.
by. Make day trips, different areas too.
But ABE is huge in itself. I mean, it's covering, so ABE is the main three cities that make up the Lehigh Valley. But, and that's Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton. But there's a ton of boroughs all scattered around. I think it was, over 12 dozen boroughs, which is insane. Maybe
Sounds
I
about right.
could be butchering that number again. Don't remember it off the top of my head. But it's a ton of boroughs, multiple different cities. And actually, population of ABE. Do you have any guesses of what it is, Corbo? You know it?
Well, I just looked it up, so that
Okay, all
wouldn't
right.
be
It
too
wasn't fair.
right. We're talking about the whole Lehigh Valley. I have about 700,000, right? Is that what you got?
Yep, absolutely. And when you break that down into just Allentown, Bethlehem, and Easton, Allentown's rocking about 125,000. Bethlehem has about 75,000, and Easton has about 30,000. So I mean, huge amongst themselves. Average age is 39.8, so basically 40 years old. When you're looking at, you know, the Lehigh Valley, you're seeing at 40, it's a big time family place to be. It's really good school districts. It's actually one of the largest growing and fastest growing areas of Pennsylvania, which says a whole lot. One of the big reasons is most of the land out there's turkey farms. There's a lot of turkey farms, a lot of farms selling off their land and getting sold to warehouses, getting sold to different schools popping up. So it's this whole combination. And when you have more people flowing in for those jobs, that means you're also going to need to feed them. Some new restaurants popping up, new schools popping up. As it keeps growing, just more and more is needed all around. When you hear that, that's not like, I have to be there for a bachelor party. But when you're also hearing is like restaurants popping up, nightlife is getting bigger and better, more things to do because you got to entertain people. So these cities are growing in all aspects. It's not just like warehouses popping up. Some of these smaller towns too, really cool to see. We're not just talking about ABE, but some small towns that are pretty good to bring up: Emmaus, Nazareth, and Hellertown, Bangor, Whitehall. All of these places they should be mentioned when talking about the Lehigh Valley.
Yeah, and a lot of the the excursions or events we're going to talk about here are in not necessarily the the big cities. They're in a lot of some of them are in the surrounding areas, so it's um it's a good spot. I think it has a lot of potential. Like I mentioned, excited to get into this. It's a fun one to throw it back to our old stomping grounds.
Absolutely. And we kind of just touched on this too with all these boroughs, with everything right there, though. Yeah, you're right next to New York. To get to New York takes about an hour and a half. Nice. To Philly, 1 hour, and it's a pretty straight shot. You're almost going straight north. Especially depending where you are in the Lehigh Valley, it can be shorter, but hour, just mark that. Jersey, hour and a half, and that's the beaches. Poconos, real simple drive. You're kind of almost looking at the Poconos to get there in about an hour.
Yep, it's like you said, perfectly situated right in the center of all those places. So you got anything from the beach to the mountains and the busy bustling city to the woods.
Yeah, yeah, real cool. But I mean, like we said, there's so much to do here. Let's kind of get into it. What is there out there for bachelor parties? Krobo, I'm going to hand it to you for the first. What is there for bachelor parties?
All right. Yeah. So, right. Obviously, we talked a little bit about some of the restaurants and bars and nightlife. I'm going to go in a little bit different direction first. I'm going to say, your sporting venues. So, Allentown, I wouldn't say it doesn't have a pro team. It has a lot of the AAA affiliated teams to
Mm-hmm.
both the Phillies in the Iron Pigs and the Phantoms for the Flyers for hockey. Both of those, stadiums, Coca-Cola Park and the PPL Center hold they hold a lot of events. It's always fun to catch a game. Great activity to do during the day, especially if your group is, in any sensitive sporty, enjoying sports events. Reasonable prices for food and drink. um, great daytime activity, I think.
I mean, we have stories from those. I mean, getting hammered in the grass field of Iron Pigs or going to PP&L Center. I mean, that's great. Those are great. Phantoms, great team to watch. The electricity going all through that stadium is awesome. The pigs, the Coca-Cola bottle, shake it up and sending fireworks up. Absolutely, I would recommend doing.
Sweet. Yeah. Um, what sticking with let's stick with the kind of daytime activities here. Another one, I think this is something that you and I and maybe a lot of the people that we grew up with almost took for granted. But Dorney Park, huge amusement park. Yeah,
That's a poll, and I love it.
that's right. Um, I think we took it for granted because we get the season passes. You go every week, and um, it almost became mundane because we did it so much. But it is absolutely not. Like taking a step back, people travel from quite far away to come to Dorney Park. Has tons of roller coasters, so much fun. They got the water park if you're going to do it in the summertime. If it's
Wildwater
more that,
Kingdom.
yep. And then in the fall they got the Halloween haunt. So if you're into the horror scene, that's a lot of fun too.
Yeah, I mean, now I know in my bachelor party, my friends are menaces, and we're going to be drinking almost every single part of it. So going on roller coasters in the heat, probably not the best combo. But Dorney Park is such a great pool. It's such a good time. There's definitely like family stuff to do there, but group of guys going down water slides and just having a day, that's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. A little different aspect too. Like, if you're going on bachelor parties all over the place, different people having different things. Dorney Park is a little bit different aspect to yours. That could be a fun pull.
Yeah, it's a great shout though about maybe taking it a little bit easy if you're going to be riding the loop de loops and all the roller coasters. Don't want to drink too much if you're going to do that.
Yeah, when you start going down Steel Force and start yakking, that's not fun.
Yeah, that's
Um,
not fun for you. That's not fun for anybody else on the ride. So beware.
Oh, right on the picture. That would be a great picture though. During the roller coaster,
You know what?
seeing
Actually,
the
I hope somebody
spray.
has done that. If
There's
there's a
got to be
picture out
somebody.
there, somebody send it in. I would love
If
to see
your bachelor
it.
party went to an amusement park and somebody threw up and there's a picture, we need you on here. We need to have you interviewed. That's awesome.
That would be hilarious. I'm sure somebody's done it too. They got to
They
have.
had to. Or even like making it a challenge in an amusement park, like you
No,
lose a
no,
game
no,
and
no.
you have to shotgun before going on a roller coaster. Like I
No, 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 no. We are not condoning a challenge to throw up on a roller coaster. I'm gonna just set this record straight right now. We are not condoning that.
speak for yourself. That's great. No, that could be a lot of fun. Dorney Park and Wildwater Kingdom. Yeah, probably not for everybody's bachelor party, but that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else? What do you got for daytime activities?
Yeah. Well, I think the coolest part about Lehigh Valley is you get all four seasons. Um, and there's that whole nature aspect of the
Love
Lehigh
that.
Valley. There's hiking, there's to do biking trails. The hiking's real cool. I mean, two of my favorite hikes is the Lehigh Valley Gap, where you go up, the water splits the Appalachian Mountains. Just want to make that clear. It's Appalachian and not your stupid south of the Mason Dixon of calling it Appalachian. It's Appalachian Mountains. Putting that out there right now. So in the Appalachian Mountains, it splits with the water there. It's called the Gap. Really beautiful look. There's also Bake Oven Knob going up there. Cool thing to do. Again, for bachelor parties, I mean, that's something, like get your legs active, get out in the sun, really just, it's fun to not just sit there and drink, where you can also like do something. But with saying that, I'm going to say one of my favorite things to do in the nature, and I would highly love to do this. Like, it's great. We've done it before, Crowbuff. Our friend groups have done it.
And I know where you're going. I know what you're gonna say.
Well, I just want to say this then. Lehigh Valley has the Delaware River and the Lehigh Valley River. So one of the best things is cabrewing, right? I mean, come on, cabrewing. And
Brewing is the best.
if you don't know
Gotta
what
explain it
cabrewing
though.
is, you're an idiot. You're an idiot, first off, because you're just missing out on life. I guess you just don't live. Cabrewing is a combo of words. Ka is for kayak, and brewing is for brews. Don't know how to put it more simple. I mean, am I missing anything there, Crowbar?
No, no, it's pretty straightforward, right? You're out in the water on a kayak, having a good time, having some drinks, having a good time with the boys, or girls. Everyone's invited to cabrewing.
Yeah. Well, that's a really cool thing about the Lehigh. Like, I think the Lehigh is probably my favorite to go cabrewing. Uh, Especially if after like a rainstorm, there's a little bit of rapid, so it's like a little bit fun. You're not just like sitting in one spot, and it actually is like flowing. But it gets pretty filled. You'll see different groups out there. Some people just bring inner tubes. Some people have kayaks. People are out there enjoying themselves, enjoying the sun. Great way to get a tan for the wedding too. Just sitting out on a lake all day and drinking, not a bad idea at all. I actually kind of love that idea. Maybe even dropping a line in, whatever. There's fish in there, but that's just an easy way. It's a safer way. There's bike trails that kind of go on it, trees, so it's like just beautiful, just out there in nature with the boys. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Love that. Love it. Cabrewing is absolutely fantastic. Great time. But I'm gonna switch it up here. I'm gonna jump over another outdoor activity. If your group is into it, would be skiing, snowboarding. Lots of
Yep.
it's a good area. You got Blue Mountain, you got Bear Creek, you got Camelback, you got what's the other one that's real close in there? Shawnee, a couple others not too far away either. It is your East Coast skiing, your ice coast as they say, but it's still a good time, and especially in the winter months, right? You can get some fresh snow. Maybe something a little bit more unique about them is a lot of these places have pretty nice resorts, right? You ski off. I mean, they got some of them got good restaurants, cool, nice place to warm up. It's not just like a shack like it is at some places.
Yeah, and again, the Lehigh Valley, all 4 seasons in full effect. You're seeing everything. So in that winter, yeah, it might not be as fun as summer because there's just different activities, but doesn't say there's not activities to do. There's ice skating, there's skiing. You can find stuff to do for a bachelor party. If your group is skiing and snowboarding, I'd recommend it. That's a great time. The whole group doesn't, it's going to be kind of annoying for some guys to pay the money to get out there and just go on the bunny hill all day. So, plan accordingly, but it would be a lot of fun. If your group is skiing Blue Mountain, you could rip it all day. And, you could hit it probably every trail twice and make it a full day that way.
Yeah, yeah. A good point though, right? Is don't know if I would recommend trying out skiing or snowboarding for the first time on the bachelor party. It is so much fun. I know you and I both love to go, but it is kind of brutal when you're first learning. It took me a while, lots of falling, incredibly sore. So maybe not your first time. Don't just jump into it when you're on a bachelor party.
Yeah, totally agree. Well, then I think I'm going to switch it up here. Another great thing to do outdoors during the day. I'm going to take it back to like spring and summer. Lehigh Valley is full of beautiful golf courses. Highly recommend. A lot of these golf courses are beautiful. You get to see those mountains that we're talking about. They get to go skiing on in the background. It's not like Midwest or like Florida where like it's gonna be flat. You're seeing a lot of hills on these courses. You're seeing lakes and ponds. Um, and it's good golf. It's good golf. Ones I would recommend. Some of my favorite in the Lehigh Valley is Old Homestead or Morgan Hill. These are ones that I just know growing up and I've played. Highly recommend. Again, get the group out. It's fun time. They're not crazily priced, but yeah, it's a bachelor party. You're gonna have some fun. It's a good thing to get going. Drinks flowing, cigars, whatever. Could be golf courses. Highly recommend.
Yeah. Golf courses, like you said, got some presents an interesting challenge with the elevation changes, and it makes it's a fun difference from other golf courses. One that you didn't, I don't know if you mentioned, but the Saucon Valley Country Club.
Yep.
This is actually like really high level course. I think the women's PGA had a tournament there, if I'm not mistaken.
No, yeah, you got it.
They have like I remember John or what Daly was there at some point. I don't know, like yeah, it's a respectable course. So you got there's some challenging courses that you can play if you guys are high level golfers.
Now, Krobo, do you know how many golf courses there are in the Lehigh Valley?
No, I do not. How many?
There's more than 20 courses in the region.
That's surprising.
That's a lot. 20?
That's a
I
big
mean,
number.
yeah. Yeah, no, it's huge. And again, really nice courses. Even the
Wow, I'm just
municipal
kind of blown
courses
away by
are
that.
nice. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's awesome. And I think one of my favorite parts of the courses, well, obviously golfing's fun, but I donate all my balls to the woods and to the water, and just want to make sure I pay back to the course. But one of my favorite parts is definitely the clubhouses there. Um, these clubhouses, I wouldn't say are like typical ones, like where it's just a bar and the thing. It's like full blown restaurants in there. People go
Absolutely.
there not to golf, but just go to the restaurants, which I think is like you don't see that every day. It's really nice. Multiple courses do this. They have live music. They have outdoor sections. They serve really good food, and the drinks are flowing. So that's always the thing. Bachelor party, you could, golf and then spend your night even just right on the course still.
Yeah. I could easily see, you hit or even right hit a round of golf in the morning, get off, grab some lunch, get a little tuned up before you get on to your next adventure for the afternoon or for the nighttime.
Well, I want to definitely hit this in a different episode and go into detail more. If you're doing something like that and you want to put golf on your bachelor party, there's games to play, different golf, wolf or chase the bear. There's the there's just there's a ton of games. I want to go into it kind of more in depth and kind of talk through some stuff that could be really fun to talk about if you're doing that. Golf is like your whole day event, so that could be fun. That could be a fun episode to talk about. What do you think, Krobo?
Yeah. I think we got to jump into that. I think golf's like actually a really large portion. A lot of guys love to do that, and I think that that could be a it's a good, really good match between getting out in nature, like we were talking about, but you can also easily right have some drinks, keep the vibe going, or start a vibe. Right, it's a perfect match between that.
Yeah, and I'm not calling myself good at all, but even in your group, if there's guys that aren't playing well, I mean, there's handicaps, there's ways around it to get everybody involved and keep it going. So I think that's good for a bachelor party that's going to be like larger of size or, different skill levels like skiing. That's hard to incorporate everybody, especially if it's a first time. Golfing, first time, but you've swung a club before, you might be able to
Yeah, you can get away with it,
be
and
included.
right,
Yeah.
like sometimes you're out in the course. All right, I didn't have a great time in terms of my performance in the game, but I'm hanging out with my buddies, having a couple beers, right? It's still going to be a fantastic time. It's not like I'm going to be miserable because I'm sliding down a mountain on my butt the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's it.
Yeah.
Give it a shot. Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely go for that.
Definitely. Well, I think golf is cool. I mean, we kind of went into talking about restaurants then, talking about the different restaurants that are going on, like right there. Do you want to get into restaurants just right now about restaurants in the Lehigh Valley, or is there something else? Am I cutting you early here?
No, well, here, let me just list off a couple of other ones I had written down in terms of outdoor activities that would probably be fun for a bachelor party, and then
Well,
we
I
can go
got
to
a
the
bunch
restaurants. Is
too.
that
I
cool?
got a bunch too for daytime stuff more and like different activities. So yeah, let's hold restaurants for like that nightlife. I like that.
Okay. Um, well, I'll just name a couple here, right? I got the
Yeah,
the Lehigh Valley Grand Prix, which is go karting. Could be a great time. I got the Heritage Guild, which is a shooting range. Along with that lines, the Lehigh Valley Sporting Clays, paintball. Always could be a fun activity for a bachelor party. That's kind of the big ones. Then you could get we'll get into the casino a little bit later. I think you could do that during the
definitely.
day, but I feel like that fits better with our nighttime discussion.
Well, let me hop in too. During the day, there is a ton of events and festivals that happen in the Lehigh Valley that if you time your bachelor party right, you could be going to a bunch of different like festivals. And so how I'm going to talk about that. So I'm just going to talk about a couple that go on. One show is like the Lehigh Valley Auto Show. If your group is into cars and really admire cars, that could be a fun thing to check out during the day. Not for every group, but hey, it's there. Music Fest. Music Fest is filled with good food, good drinks. Different all through Bethlehem is like these beautiful like pop up little stages of concerts. You can go into different stuff. It's been going on every year for years on years.
And not only that too, right? They'll bring in some big performers too. Right? They have a
But yeah,
bigger venue stage, and they'll get some relatively big names that'll come in there too.
well, really cool. It's right on like in Bethlehem, and then there's the steel stacks right there. So a lot of times they'll have the big concerts right there against the steel stacks. I think we'll go into steel stacks a little bit for more nightlife stuff with how much is there, but steel stacks have the bigger stages. So that's Music Fest. But just like Music Fest, I mean, there's live music at different places you can go to. There's Blues Fest, which is like blues music, but also like there's like wine and different stuff you could go. Um, Oktoberfest. I mean, I don't really have to talk much into that. It's Oktoberfest. Go drink your face off. There's a Bacon Fest. I dread myself every year that I miss Bacon Fest. It's everything you could think of bacon. There's bacon drinks, there's bacon food. It's incorporated into all food. It's incorporated to everything. There's even clothes with bacon on it. I mean,
That's
go
so
there
absurd.
hungry. Yeah, if your group looks like me and it's this big, I recommend going to Bacon Fest. That's for the guys watching on YouTube, I guess. Looking at me, seeing I'm a big boy. But Bacon Fest, real cool. I'm probably missing some other different fests going on and different stuff. I use this to learn about Lehigh Valley. I've lived there one, but then also there's something called Discover Lehigh Valley. It's this website. It'll tell you about all these events going on in the Lehigh Valley. It talks to you about different restaurants. If you are the one planning your bachelor party for the Lehigh Valley, that's something real cool to check out. Help you plan it. Again, Crowboth and I, we're new at this, man. We're learning about how to podcast, how to research. We're just trying to bring light different cities and what they have for bachelor parties. I encourage you to do more research than just listening to us, but listening to us, I appreciate also. Um, but discover Lehigh Valley. That's one thing I use to learn about Lehigh Valley more.
For sure. Yeah. Hopefully we can give you some inspiration, maybe something that you didn't think about or didn't know about in these cities. But like you said, absolutely check out these other resources. This is really kind of meant to be the tip of the iceberg into some of these events.
Well, just to keep talking then, so these events and fests go on, but one place that hosts a bunch of events is the PP&L Center, which you heard Crowboss say earlier is where the Phantoms play, but that gets rearranged to different things too. Now, this might be more nightlife if you're going, but they host a bunch of different things. It's in the center city, Allentown. They've got WWE there, monster truck rallies, hockey games, concerts. So, I mean, if you're planning it out, check out PP&L, what they're having that weekend you're there. Most weekends they're filled up. So definitely plan ahead. But PP&L Center, I was there on New Year's Eve with my family once, and they dropped a ginormous hockey puck in Center City right there of Allentown. And it was a big celebration. Beer is just like beer carts going around the streets. There's events all the time. That's all I'm trying to say is that's a cool place to check out.
Yeah. Yeah. PPL centers. I swear there's always something going on. And it's always something new and different that I've never expected. So check it out. See what's going on. If it aligns with what your group likes, maybe want to hit something there. But it sounds right. Talking about New Year's. We want to jump into kind of the nightlife scene here now.
Love it. I love it. Yeah. So between bars, breweries, wineries, and restaurants to go to, Lehigh Valley's filled. Lehigh Valley. I mean, there's a lot to do, especially for bachelor parties. Pretty cool. I'm gonna jump into restaurants first.
Perfect.
I'm gonna break it down between Bethlehem, Allentown, and Easton. 97 restaurants. Allentown, 78 restaurants. Easton, 68 restaurants. And then I typed in what is like the group friendly 10 plus people going there. 67 restaurants through ABE. And that's just ABE. Again, different cities, different boroughs. Check it out. Some restaurants that I wanted to kind of put on your watch list that are ones that I think big bachelor party, you're there with guys, people are going to be wanting to watch sports. I think some of the best sports watching restaurants in the Lehigh Valley, Sports and Social,
Absolutely.
Nest Bar. I don't know if you heard that one.
I don't know about that one. No, where's that?
It's like the Nest Bar and Grill. It's I think there's two of them. I think one in Bethlehem, one in Allentown. Um, that's one of them. There's Weyerbacher, which is also a brewery, Copperhead, and then there's Big Woody's. These are all big time sports watching TV, sports bar esque restaurants. I would highly recommend those for your group. That's the sports oriented guys.
Love it. Only other one that you didn't mention that I throw in there is PJ Willihan's. Wings are fantastic.
What
I
am
don't know
I
how you
doing?
forgot that one, but
I don't know what I'm doing anymore, dude.
no, you crushed it on the rest of that list. But yeah, PJ's up there.
Oh my god, PJ's is one of my freaking favorite, dude. That's like I grew up on PJ's. What am I doing?
Get some of their hot and honey wings and the famous fries. Can't go wrong. I mean, anything on the
PJ
menu is great, but
PJ's famous fries. Oh, I'm going hungry. Well, also then talking about fries, there's Chicky and Pete fries, which I go crazy for too. Chicky and Pete's is attached to like most stadiums in Pennsylvania, at least definitely the east side. So like Iron Pigs that we mentioned earlier. There's a huge restaurant right on Main Street in Allentown that has another back entrance into the PP&L Center. I think that's pretty awesome. So you could be in the stadium and go in, or from the street. Chicky and Pete's, good food. Also has beer flowing, so that's always a bonus.
absolutely.
Yeah, well, I mean, those are some good restaurants. There's so many. If you know, I think on a bachelor party, sometimes you want to treat out everybody. You get like a steak dinner. There's plenty of places for that. There's plenty of places that are up class in all of Lehigh Valley, but there's also those fun ones too. So again, do your research. I don't have all of them listed down. I just told you how many there are, and there's a ton. But do your research on that. There's definitely places to go.
Yeah. Um, I guess you want to jump over maybe to the bars then. I got a couple that I would like to highlight.
Let's hear it.
All right. Yeah. So I don't have any statistics specific to that, but I'd imagine we're sitting in that same conversation of plenty of bars, plenty of um, yeah, I guess bars within that area. Some that I had here on my list. You got the Tally Ho in Bethlehem. Bethlehem has a lot because it has the Lehigh University there, right? So you can get the more of that college town kind of vibe, which you get a little bit with Tally. You get Molly's. Seven Sirens is a cool little brewery there. So Bethlehem, I would say, is you got a lot of different options in terms of the vibe you're looking for. I don't know too many in the Easton area, but Allentown, you mentioned it before. Sports and Social is a great one. There's the Tavern on Liberty is a fun spot that has a lot of unique beers. I swear every time I go in there, it's a completely different menu. It's really, really a pretty cool spot.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've got a couple too. So like right there's like Brew Daddies too. There's Taco and Tequila. I'm missing a big one too right there. 99 Bottles just opened up. So that's like right on the center city street of Allentown, which is pretty awesome. I had some also notable ones for bars. The Steel Pub in Bethlehem. It's like right off pretty much the road from of like tallies and all of that, not too far off, but it's kind of right on the river. It's got live music a lot of the times, and there's also an ice skating rink right there. I mean, I don't know about you, but drinking a beer, listening to live music, and watching some dudes hit each other on the ice, not a bad day.
I thought you were gonna go in a different direction and say try to ice skate, but I like the idea of watching other people fall instead.
Yeah, yeah. There's also Red Stag Pub and Whiskey Bar.
I
That's
mean,
like an
yeah,
Irish Scottish whiskey bar kind of feel. Pretty cool. Two Rivers Brewing in Easton. I know you said there wasn't much in Easton, but in
I just
Easton,
personally
there's
didn't know quite as many. I don't want to take detract
Easton's on
away
the
from them.
grow. Easton's on the grow. So as much as we grew up around there, Easton is growing and becoming more populated, being nicer. Different bars, like it's all right to go there. They have a college right there too. What is it, Lafayette, right there on the hill in Easton. So I mean, there's places to go there. Um, Actually, ABE, Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton, all have different colleges right in there.
That's
So in their respected, there's places to go everywhere.
and
In
I guess
Emmaus,
go ahead.
oh, sorry, in Emmaus, there's also Rising River, which just won an award for like best like scenic brewery or something along those lines. Just won an award in the past like year, or like new coming brewery or something along those lines. But it's right on the river. People are outside. There's live music and people go in the river. Like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. And I just wanted to mention. So we're kind of talking about. I mean, we talked. There's three cities, right? Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton. We're kind of breaking them up, at least in our mind when we're talking about it. But if you're going to plan some things out, I would almost say it's not. I wouldn't recommend going to like one thing at each different city per day. They are very close to one another. They are all within the Lehigh Valley, but they're each about like 20 minutes apart from one another at least. So we're not talking like right down the road. Just something else to keep in mind here.
Yeah, and I mean, be responsible on these bachelor parties. Don't drink and drive. There's Ubers. It's populated enough. There's Ubers around, and you can get place to place just fine. Yeah. So, and then also then going into like that nightlife stuff, we talked about restaurants and bars. There's breweries around all over. You could go, and there's actually over 35 breweries. around. Two that I would bring up is Brew Works and Weirbacher. They both give tours of their breweries, which I think is, pretty cool for a bachelor party. There's over 30 wineries in the Lehigh Valley, um, which I think is real cool. If you guys are into wine, your group's into wine, do a little tour. Lehigh Valley is ranked pretty highly in their wines with um, there's like different ratings of different stuff, but it's an AVA designated location, which is right up there with like Napa Valley and Willamette Valley. So it's pretty cool between breweries and wineries, touring those as well, right there with the bars.
Yeah, I 35 breweries. That's pretty amazing. And I'm not a big wine drinker, but that's really cool. I didn't realize that they had that level of prestige there. So
I mean, I'll
look
give
at
you a
this.
hundred
Look at this.
bucks.
I'm even learning something on the podcast.
Yeah, I'll give you $100 right now if you could tell me what the AVA stands for when talking about wines like that.
Oh man, I have no idea. Let's see. Alcohol. So, trying to think of a way to put grapes in there. I got nothing. I don't know. What is
Yeah,
it?
it's American Viticulture Area.
I would not have gotten that.
Yeah, neither did I. Fully looked it up. I had no clue.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, hey. Yeah. AVA ranking high.
Yeah, good.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
good. There you go. Well, yeah. So I mean, there's breweries to go to if you're into the beer. I'm on Untapped. I don't know if that's a thing. I'm on Untapped. I rate beers from all over. I've got a couple friends that do that too. So
Love
try some
Untapped.
breweries on bachelor parties. Try tapping in and make your check-ins. Yeah. So I mean, what else to do at night except some of the bad stuff now.
The bad stuff.
We
Man,
got
which direction do we want to go?
we got gambling. We've got strip clubs. We've got the 3 a.m. opens. It's all different here. But let's start off with Bethlehem Casino.
Yes, yes. Many nights, many good stories we have ending at the, what is it, Wind Creek Casino, formerly the Sands Casino, right there in downtown Bethlehem,
Yes,
right
sir.
across the street from the Steel Stacks. Um, from what I understand, it's a pretty respectable, large casino that
Massive.
a lot of people will come from like New York or Philly to come to it. Yeah, and they got everything you have at a casino: your table games, your slots, your sports book area. One thing that's pretty cool that I haven't really seen in other places is the almost like a stadium seating setup with a dealer in the middle, and they'll be sitting in your seat with a screen in front of you, and you can play like blackjack, roulette, whatever, a bunch of other
War.
games that they rotate through. Yeah, on your screen you can be playing like four at one time with the video camera showing the dealer that's sitting up in the center what they're doing, and you could be playing a hand of blackjack while your roulette balls roll in while your other games are going on. So it's just something
Yeah.
unique. I don't know that I've seen that other places.
And you're not like messing other people up. Like you're playing solo blackjack with everybody playing the same hand. And it makes sense when you're there. It might be hard to like visualize now, but it makes sense. Also in this casino, there's live music, which is wild with a whole like dance floor, lots of bars, and there's restaurants like right on it as well that you could go right up to, like steak houses too. So very, very high end, very nice. This casino definitely is going to rank up there.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool too, like you were mentioning the restaurants, that line on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
You're literally on the floor, and then you can just walk right into the restaurant right from the casino floor. There's a little mall attached to it too, right? There's some shopping centers there. There's an a venue location there. You can have some shows, and then the hotel
Yeah.
right there is right attached, right? So you win big. You don't want to get an Uber home. You want to grab a hotel room there. Go for it.
And I would even recommend, you're bringing in 15 guys. You kind of call ahead and be like, hey, we're looking to gamble this kind of money. We're bringing 15 guys there and see if you can get anything comped. Not saying it will happen and not saying it always does work like that, but Doesn't hurt to call. You're the best man. You're planning out this. Give him a call. See what could happen.
Yeah, give it a shot, right? Your fellow groomsman might thank you if you can catch him a break on something. Doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah, even if you're like, hey, I'm coming in, guy's about to get married. Casino might even like give him a voucher for $100 or something. Like you don't know, right? Like just give him a call.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I guess that's kind of a tip. In general, maybe we need to talk about that on an episode. Some tips and tricks of the procedural planning side of it. But yeah,
yeah,
never hurts to call. I mean, what's the worst that they say is no.
yeah, exactly. Yep, absolutely. So highly recommend.
All right. So I know you've been dying. You've been dying to talk
I'm
about
itching.
this one.
I'm itching.
Let's go. Let's do it. It's all you.
We're breaking into strip clubs. Let's go. So the Lehigh Valley actually doesn't have a whole lot of strip clubs. As much as I love going, it's not completely filled. I'm gonna start off from the bottom. There's the Fox, which I have been to. It's kind of weird. There's a like circle well bar in the middle, and in the middle of that is the pole, and girls do dancing right there. And how do I say this politely? If your group of guys likes bigger females, this might be the strip club for you. I think that's polite. Yes. All right.
Yeah, yeah. That's I would say that's probably a good way to put it.
I wasn't a huge fan of it. I'm going to talk just personally. I'm not here to promote everything. So I'm talking honestly. I wasn't a huge fan of it. I think there's better options to go to. Um, be a judge for yourself. I'm just telling you how I feel about it. The next one up, I have not been to. It's called Club Obsessions. There's been 5 Google reviews, and it has a 4 stars. So the dudes that go to strip clubs and feel confident enough to review them online, they've given it 4 stars. um,
The masses have spoken.
yes. It seems all right. It seems a little bit smaller. Nothing crazy to talk about it, but it's an option. Um, the last one, the top one that I had, it's about 31 reviews, and it's actually the lowest ranked, but that's just because more people have commented on it, in my opinion. It's called Platinum Plus, and I've been there a couple times and spent some good money there. And I think it ranks. I've been to strip clubs in different places, and it ranks up there. It's clean, it's good looking women, it's really large, and there's enough, like the ratio is really good in the sense that you're not just like sitting there alone like a weirdo. Where like, you actually are like interacting with the girls, and the drinks are there, so that's always great. It's very safe. I always felt safe there. So yeah, I think that ranks up highly.
Yeah, so I actually haven't made it to any of these trips. There's been some amazing, great stories that I've somehow not been included on these trips. In all honesty, right? Just so bringing that perspective, Platinum Plus is, from my perspective, has to be the top of one, right? That's just kind of what the almost the outsider perception is, would be that Platinum Plus is your premier spot in the Lehigh Valley.
It's not even Lehigh Valley. I think it's like a premier spot. Like I truly think it's going to rank up there for some of the best ones. It just lots of girls, very clean, especially for the area. There's not much around until you get to about Philly. Like the closest next like high quality one is going to be in Philly, and again, it's about an hour and a half away. So it's like maybe 2 hours, depending where you're at. So it's it's a good one. It's a good one, quality one. But you're
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
stories you missed out on.
Well, yeah. So to segue, I guess here, we don't have a guest to come on this week for this episode, but I think there's a great story here that Bobby's going to tell us about an experience at the Platinum Plus uh, establishment, and obviously it's not a bachelor party, but the I've heard the story once before, and it absolutely would go up there with what I imagine to be a pretty crazy bachelor party. So love to hear it. You want to jump into it?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. That's a good segue. Well, yeah, I think that's a cool thing about our podcast too. Is like it's not necessarily just for people that are planning bachelor parties. We're focusing it on bachelor parties and what the cities have to offer for bachelor parties. But if you're doing a guys trip, if you're doing a fraternity retreat, if you're doing like a reunion for a fraternity, there's so many different options you could do for listening to our podcast, which is pretty cool. But I did want to mention, so this is a 21st birthday party. It's just my buddy and his brother. And it was the brother's 21st birthday party-esque, whatever. But we were bar hopping around Allentown and then into Bethlehem. And then it kind of came up, well, what about a strip club? And he was
Hey,
dying
well,
to
we
go.
gotta explain the other backstory. The other buddy is also quite a large fan of strip clubs, right?
Well, I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but yes, absolutely big fans of strip
No
clubs.
names being named,
No
but
names,
we know who
but
you're talking about.
and he'll know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we end up going to the strip club. We go to Platinum Plus. We get in. Again, we've been bar hopping, drinking for a long time. We were pretty drunk at this point. Right away, pretty much first girl that comes up to us as we sit down. We like when we got beers, we sat down, and first girl that came up, the buddy and I were like, "Hey, it's just he needs to get a dance. Like, take him in the back," and we paid for him. So he goes in the back, and we're just sitting there like cracking up, having a good time. And then another girl like comes up and he's like, you know what, I'm going back. I need a dance. So he went and got a dance, or didn't, compared to who's listening. It's his girlfriend or fiance, whatever. Um, but he goes in the back, and I don't know why I didn't. I just wanted to be out there in case the other guy, it's his first time in one, just like came out or anything. So I decided to stay out.
Being the
But
responsible
then
one.
I guess so. I guess so. Hurts to say it, but yeah. And but then it's like little time passes. I'm just drinking my beer, not really like thinking. But then my buddy comes back out, who went in second, and I was like, "What? Like this doesn't make sense. Did I miss the other guy coming out?" So him and I start like walking around looking for him. We can't find him, and then we're like, "All right, maybe we should just pop outside. Like maybe he got lost or walked right by us and went outside," which is fair. And the guy wanted to smoke a cig too, so we went out there. He's not out there. I'm starting to panic a little bit. Like we just lost him on his 21st. It's not great.
And you're like
Great
calling
look.
and texting him, right? Or is that like too
Yeah.
far behind comprehension at this point?
No, we definitely were like calling him and testing him with no response. It was like we just didn't know where he was or anything, what was going on. So we go back in
Got you.
then.
So it's panic mode.
It's a little panic mode. Yeah, it's a little panic mode. And we go back in, still can't find him. And we go back to like where we were sitting and sit down. It gets to 2 a.m. And so like time has passed, right? And go back to where we're sitting. Time has passed. 2 a.m. All right, got it. We're closing. Lights come on. Everything. Everybody has to go. We're like, we got to do another sweep. Like, where is he? Lights are on. So we like split up and we're going around and we meet and he's there sitting there and we're like, dude, where have you been? He's like, what? And I guess so. What happened was he went back there, got a dance, pretty much fell in love with this chick, got like 3 more dances on himself, right? Like just like decided like he paid for it. So like while we were all looking, he was just still in the back. Like it wasn't just a one dance thing. He was in love
No.
back there, drooling over some girl. And so this whole time, and then he said he forgot where we were sitting, so he just found the first seat and sat down. So as we're out there panicking, he's in love, and then just sitting there alone, just living it. He didn't care. He was just drinking a beer, just got a couple dances. He's happy, and it didn't matter at all to him. So, oh man, it was just we lost the 21-year-old on his birthday at a strip club. I think that goes down. That could be easily a bachelor party story, but yeah, we lost him on his 21st at a strip club.
And then I remember the other part to this too is the next day you said he didn't recall any of this, right?
Didn't even know we went to like one of the last bar before the strip club. Didn't know we went there.
Oh no.
I was even more nervous that he's got his like money stolen back there.
Yeah, but he had his cards and
But
everything, right?
he had
He
his
was
cards and
there.
everything, but yeah, he definitely spent a pretty penny back there. But yeah,
Oh man, that's a
yeah,
good one. Like I know who you're talking about, so it's real funny. But
yeah. If you're out there listening, you absolutely know.
it's that's a good story, man. I mean, definitely seems like a great well, looking back, it would be a great bachelor party story to tell. Maybe not necessarily in the moment of no, where's our friend on his 21st birthday, but that's a good one.
That's great. I love it. And yeah, I mean, just fun times. I mean, we were bar hopping too, so I mean, it was just an awesome time. Um, yeah, yeah. Well, that's my story for the Lehigh Valley. Um, I want to hear, Krobo, what would you rate it?
You're talking the entire city, Lehigh
Yeah, what would you
Valley.
rank? What would you rank Lehigh Valley for a bachelor party? Good, bad, ugly, everything.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. I think I would go probably 6.8. And now it seems like it would be quite low. Um, I'm a pretty harsh critic, so just put that out there. But the it's definitely very affordable. So we'll start on the positive side, right? This is definitely going to be a more affordable location. Some groups trying to ball on a budget type of deal. This would be perfect. But with that comes you're not going to get you don't have the crazy clubs that some of these places like a Miami or Las Vegas or just the things you would see in the movies kind of thing. That's not really going to be there. And then the other thing too is there's a lot of families, right? There's a lot of family friendly things. And not saying you can't do family friendly things on a bachelor party, absolutely can, but the time to get crazy and go wild, like on a bachelor party, you may not quite have a lot of those tailored experiences in the Lehigh Valley. I think something else that factors into is the location between the cities. Talked about that a little bit before. It's not exactly the easiest to hit all the different cities within one night. Doable, but um, I think it factors into the score. So that's where I'm sitting at. I'm going to go with a 6.8. What are your thoughts?
Well, I agree with a lot of what you said. It does have four seasons, which I like. You could have a different trip there if you went in the summer to the winter with different activities to do. It's not like the same thing. If I ever went to the Lehigh Valley in the summer to visit family and then I went back for a bachelor party, it could be a completely different experience if we all went skiing or we all, went cabrewing. I like that aspect where it's like different things to do all year. Um, I like that there are a lot of things to do because, especially because we're covering such a big area, it's not just one city. There is a bunch of things to do, but yes, that also means it's spread out. Um, and I do like how close it is to other major cities of like New York, the Jersey Shore, Poconos, Philly. Um, Getting out there, it's not bad. I really do agree with your rating a lot, but the like fifth grader in me is still saying it has to be a 6.9. So I'm going 6.9. 6.8,
Man,
dude, really? Just grow up and pick 6.9.
yeah, I guess I was a missed opportunity there. Dang, nice rating.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. But yeah, so I recommend it though. I recommend it. It's a good time there. There's things to do. You weren't saying those stellar clubs, but we didn't really get into club life as much. There are some clubs to go to. Yeah, it's not your Miami, but it's there are clubs. Anything you're thinking like, oh, maybe it has that. There's probably some variation of it, of whatever you're thinking for a bachelor party. So yeah, if you want to go out on a lake and Beltsville's close, like there's things to do. There's some variation of what you want to do out there, close enough to the Lehigh Valley that you can go travel to. So I think that's a fair assessment that why what it puts it up there for. Um, well, yeah, I think that's a fair rating. I also just want to throw this out there. I gave my story today of Lehigh Valley, little funny story, little tidbit. If you have a bachelor party and there's a funny story in there, or you just really like the city for some reason and you want to kind of tell us, all for it. Please let us know. DM us, text us, whatever it is. Listen, whatever you're listening on, leave a comment. We would love to interview you. We would love to hear from you. And just please let us know because we're new at this. The whole point of this podcast is to hear about different things, learn about these different cities, and see what to offer. If this is your first time listening, this whole thing got made because two of our friends are getting married, and we had no clue what to do for looking up for bachelor party stuff. And so we're out here learning and looking just for some entertainment too. Be reaching out anytime.
Yeah, yeah, and I think one of the most fun parts about this is getting to talk to people and hear their crazy stories. And you can do all the research you want on the internet, but sometimes getting that personal experience, that personal recommendation, um, is fun. And then just the only other thing, right? If you want to stay anonymous for whatever reason, um, feel free, right? We can make that happen. We would just love to have that story to tell. So great job of summing it up there. I really enjoyed talking about this because, it is this is where we grew up, the old stomping grounds. Um, had so much fun. We both moved out of the area since, but getting to come back to visit is always a good time. And I could see this being a very viable bachelor party location.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, everybody. I love taking it back home too. So thank you, everybody, for following us on this journey. And can't wait. If you guys have recommendations for the next city, let us know. But can't wait to give you guys some more. So thanks again, and see you next time.
Yeah.
It's the last hurrah before the big day. Stories run wild in the craziest way. From Vegas nights to the beach town vibes. We're laughing or party, you're in for a ride. Whoa, whoa. It's the last hurrah before the big day. Stories run wild in the craziest way. From Vegas nights to beach town vibes. We're laughing or party, you're in for a ride. Bachelor mayhem, city lights glow. Wild adventures, let the good times roll. Planning tips, crazy trips, we've got the guide for the ultimate party. No thrill denied. Raise your glass, set the tone. This is the party before you know load. That's our stories, we're bringing the heat. Let's get this started, time to take your seat. Bachelor mayhem, city lights glow. Wild adventures, let the good times roll. Planning tips, crazy trips, we've got the guide for the ultimate party. No thrill denied. Raise your glass, set the tone. This is the party before you know load. That's our stories, we're bringing the heat. Let's get this started, time to take your seat.